you for having me on your show. It's great to be with you.
Oh my God, thank you for being here. How are you?
So well, thank you. What about yourself?
Ah, so good, thank you. Yeah, we've had a really nice morning. We've had a really fun show. We've had Nothing But Thieves in. They've been performing live. So it's been great.
Good, good.
Where in the world do we find you, Carol?
I am in London at the moment, but my book is in Venice. That's where my heart is, Nick.
Oh,
Love
yes.
Venice.
The book. We've got to talk about the book. Once Upon a Time in Venice. Can one magical city change their destiny? Love a question. Love a
And
question.
the book has so many questions in it. There are so many dark secrets that can ruin everyone. And the question is, will they?
Will they? Well, don't
Will
tell us
they?
now. Buy the book. Please
Yeah,
go and buy the book.
absolutely.
Please come
Absolutely.
on. I feel like this is a great time to have a book out because this is the time that loads of people will be thinking, oh, I'm going on my holidays, need something to read. Why do you think they're going to fall in love with Once Upon a Time in Venice, Carol?
Because the location is stunning, Nick. I mean, Venice has everything. It's got glamour, it's got glitz, it's got intrigue, it's got the masked ball, it's got romance. Remember, Casanova used to live there. Lots of little dark alleyways, the masked ball. And this book is a real form of escapism. There's drama in it. My goodness, some of the lives my characters lead. I would be shocked.
Oh wow! I'm sold. I'm totally sold. Now, Carol, when you, because you've wrote a few books now, which we want to talk about today. But when you sit down to write, what comes first for you, Carol? Are you like, oh, I've got to tell this story about a lady, and it just happens to be here, or do you think, let's start with a place, let's start with Venice? How does that sort of first start of inspiration happen?
That is such a brilliant question, Nick. The first point for me is the location. And I always choose places that I've been to that, excuse me, I absolutely love
Mm.
myself. And Venice is one of my favorite cities in the world. And I like to have gone there because then I can describe it with conviction. And what I really want to do through visual imagery is take you there because you might not have been to Venice. And if I can make you see what my characters can see and live it with them, then I have achieved. But it is fiction, it is a story, and there's a lot of drama in it, but there's a lot of excitement as well. I just love this process. I love the creative process of, just making up characters. They all come from the figment of my
Mm.
imagination. And you give them life, you give them characters, you give them a look and a voice, and you can take them wherever you want. And
Yeah.
that is so liberating.
Oh, wow. It's such a dreamy, dreamy job sitting and writing a book about wonderful Venice. So you'd been before. Did you think when, you had to write the book, were you like, maybe we should go back, get a refresher in there, get over there? Bit of
Oh,
pasta, glass
yes.
of wine. Come on, for research purposes
Absolutely.
only.
Absolutely right. And in this book, there's a very swanky five-star hotel. And I love the Cipriani Hotel. Sadly, I've never stayed there. It's out with my budget. But we took a little taxi that the hotel owned over to the island that Cipriani is actually on, had a glass of wine on their poop deck, and people watched. Oh, I love doing that.
Oh,
Have you ever done this where you see somebody and you think, I wonder what they do. I wonder who they are. And you make up a story for them. I do
I
that all
love
the
that.
time.
I love a people watch. I'm really bad, Carol. I feel like you'll be better at this than me, of not letting people know I'm watching or listening. I really stare and really listen, like tilt my head to the side like a dog. And Mish, my boyfriend's always like, can you be a bit discreet? The fact that you're listening to that table, like a glass next to my ear, like what are you saying?
Can you speak up?
Yeah, sorry, can you just
Is that
speak
catch
up? I'm
up?
trying to listen to your private conversation. No, that is my favorite thing, and I don't know why it's so fun when you're away or you're on holiday, is the sort of figuring out who's who and what their story is and where they're from and who they're with and what's their relationship. We all do that, I think.
We do. And if you see somebody that's maybe shuffling, a bit like Shaggy out of Scooby Doo, and you think, what's their story? And you might think,
Yeah.
oh, they're this, that, the next thing, or somebody's strutting, and you think they are definitely a lawyer. And then the next day when you see them, you say, oh, there's that lawyer, even though they're probably nothing like a lawyer,
Yeah,
but they
I
become
do that
almost
on
real
holiday.
in that character.
Yeah,
Do
you'll
you
be
feel
like,
the
who did you
same?
see at breakfast? The lawyer. That you've no idea that they're a lawyer. No idea whatsoever. No
You do
idea.
the same with animals as well. If you're driving along in the motorway and there's an animal in the back of a car, maybe a dog, sits up and you think that dog is saying, "Where are we now? I'm starving," and all these crazy things that you do.
I definitely do that. I definitely as well think what sort of music would my dog. We were talked about on the radio actually the other day what sort of music my dogs would be into. I'm like, well, she's definitely a punk. This one, it definitely happens. So talk me through the process of this, Carol, because I wrote a book, but it was funny stories from my life. So I sort of sat down as and when, and I'd, try and remember things, and I'd look through old pictures and then take inspiration from them. How do you best work, Carol, when you are creating this, magical world? And like you say, you can take these characters anywhere. What is it like when you're writing? Do you have a desk overlooking a window? Is there a writing shed? Where does the magic happen?
At my dining room table. So that's where I sit down with my computer and just crack on with it. But I get a lot of ideas from going out for a walk in the countryside. And with my husband, Steve, if I've got writer's block, we will discuss things and he may come up with ideas. I'll think, that's brilliant. Or, no, that wouldn't work for that character because they wouldn't do that. But you've just given me another idea. And so if we're out, I jot it down on my phone. And then when I get back, I'll put it down on my computer and elaborate. And I don't work on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So I've got plenty of time to do this. But it's a long process. You don't have to crack out a book in a couple of weeks. For me, it takes a good 9 months to do. And it's backwards and forwards with HarperCollins, my publishers, who will say, I work really closely with Kate Bradley, who's the editor there. She's brilliant. And she'll say, too many characters, or where's this character going? Have you thought about this? And if I stand my ground with Kate and say, well, I think this character is going to go this way, because she'll say, okay, let me see where you're going to take it. Yeah, that works. Or no, that doesn't work.
Wow.
So she's fabulous, and we work really well together, and I just love her.
Is there anyone that you'd like to give I know you're saying your husband Steve helps sometimes. Is there anyone that you send like a pre-copy to, or does Steve get the first draft?
Well, Kate, my publisher, gets the very first draft,
yes.
But Steve is very much in the know, because I'll say, what do you think of this? And read him a bit. And he'll say, yeah, that's good. Or he's really honest. If he doesn't like it, he'll say,
that's what you need.
I don't think that works. Yes, you don't want somebody just to say, that's great. And then Kate sees it and says, this is not very good at all. So he's brilliant at constructive criticism. So yes, he probably does see the first haunch of it.
That's what you need. I remember when I was writing and my other half, Mish, would say, I'd read him a bit out and he'd go, not funny. And I'd be like, oh, but that's what you need. He's like, you can do better. I was like, okay.
Somebody saying not funny makes you laugh.
Right? I know. Well, not me when I was up against the deadline, Carol. Get me out of it. So this is your fourth novel, Carol. And if you've not yet got this, Once Upon a Time in Venice, it's out right now. You can go get it if you are going away for your summer holidays and you need to indulge in a book and get lost in a wonderful world. If you're going to Italy, spot on. If you're not, you can use your imagination. Once Upon a Time in Venice by Carol Kirkwood is out right now. How does it feel when it's out, Carol? Because it came out this week and people are reading it. Are you getting messages from people? Has that started yet?
Yes, it has a bit, and it's really nice. But as you know, when you bring out a book, it's nerve-wracking because you've invested so much in it. It's your baby. It's come from your brain. And you want everyone to love it, just as you do, because you wouldn't put something out that you didn't love. And if somebody says, it was all right, then that's crushing. So you want everybody to love it. So this is a nerve-wracking period for me. But, I wouldn't change it for the world, because you still have a book out there, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Carol, and I'm sure everyone's going to love it. And once they've got into it, it's a chunky one and all. It'll get you through the summer, that. If you do get it and you do love it, get in touch with Carol. Send her a little message on Twitter or Instagram or something and say that you love it. Carol, what's your weekend looking like? What are you up to?
I am having a quiet weekend. The weather's going to be nice where I am, so I'm just going to relax, Nick. And I cannot wait for that.
Oh, same. We were talking about you the other day on the radio, saying to be Carol Kirkwood in a wet summer must be hell. Because I bet people are like, hey, Carol, what's going on with this weather? You're like, I don't control it, okay? Don't control it.
It's so true. I get asked that all the time. And what's happened to summer? Where is it? You're absolutely right.
She only reports on it. She doesn't create it, everybody.
Which I did.
Wish you did as well. Carol, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. Enjoy relaxing, and congratulations on the book being out, Once Upon a Time in Venice, from Carol Kirkwood. Sunday Times bestseller, no less, so you know it's good. Carol, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Nick. You too. Take care.
Thank you, Carol.